Hello, and welcome to the next installment of Crafting in the Village with Dennis. We're still doing the build on the electric guitar, the S-style Stewmac guitar that we're starting to build. But what I thought I'd do today, before we go over to the shop and start doing some actual work on this, is to take a look at the tools that you can use. My hope is that I can show you that there are tools that are just in your home with a few specialty tools that you can use and not have to sink a lot of money into buying professional luthier tools. You could land up spending a whole lot of money if you look on luthier sites like Stuart McDonald on tools that you might only use one time. Whereas a lot of these are things that we have laying around the house, that we can use to do the same thing as a $40, $50 tool that is specialized for luthiers. So we'll start out with my small toolbox, things that can come in handy when you're working on these types of projects. So in my toolbox, basic small hammer. Now, you'd be better off with a rubber-ended mallet, a hard rubber mallet, or one with a hard plastic is a good fretting tool. But a small hammer for doing little things is all you need. You don't need big equipment for this. Clothespins. I'm not going to need them for this particular project, but when and if I start to build a acoustic guitar like the one hanging behind me, applying certain pieces like anything that you need to attach to the sides, a simple set of clothespins and tape is all you really need to attach some of these things, and they just come in handy as clips. You don't have to go out and buy an expensive set of clips or clamps for this work. These will work just fine. Okay. Green frog tape or the blue painter's tape. This is a little bit better than the blue painter's tape, because when you're doing things like the finish work and things like that on your guitar body or anything that you're doing a finish on, you're not going to get any bleed through with this one. So simple things like doing fret work, blue painter's tape works fine. You just want something that isn't going to stick to the existing finish and pull it away. Okay, so frog tape. What else we have here? A decent Phillips head screwdriver. You're better off to have different sizes of this, and with certain guitars they have different sizes of flathead screwdrivers. Whenever you're screwing something, you just want to make sure that the screwdriver fits, it's not loose. You don't want to tear up the heads. I mean, this is common sense for things that we do all the time anyway when we're doing regular work around the house. But multiple screwdrivers, good quality ones, are what you'll need. Okay, so then there's some things that are very luthier specific. Okay, and here's one of them. This is called a fret rocker. So it's basically, and you want to get a heavy metal piece. Okay, has a number of sides. What they're basically for is to see if your frets are level. If there's not any high frets, low frets, anything like that. And I'm going to show you quickly on the neck that came with the kit how this works. So take a look down here. Okay. So there's the neck. Okay. Basic anatomy of the neck. You have frets that are here at the top of the neck that are spaced wider apart, and as you travel down they get closer together. What this is built to do is to span at least 3 frets, and then you just check to see if they rock. And you just move down in sets of 3. And then when you get down here closer to the bottom, okay, so you're checking that, this. You just want to be able to span at least 3 at a time. Then when you get closer here to the bottom, you have this small edge, so you can still span at least 3 at a time. And I think we're going to have some high frets down here at this end. But this is a useful tool for setups, for making sure everything's correct with your guitar. And it doesn't have to be an expensive thing. I've seen very expensive ones. I've seen very cheap ones. This one was not expensive. I think it's like $4. Okay. It may not look like much, but it is precision cut. At least as precision as you can get for $4. Okay. And there we go. Another piece that you use here on necks is a type of straight edge. Now, I've got other straight edges that I use, but this one, again, is very specific to Lutherie. So take a look and see how to use one of these. So as you can see, heavy gauge again, just like the fret rocker, but you also see that there's notches in this. And those notches correspond to the frets. Okay. So one, you can see how they line up by using this here. The other is to see if you have to adjust the neck because you want it to be flat. Okay. The notches let you avoid the frets. So then you're basically just looking. And this one's pretty, this neck's pretty flat, but we will probably have to do an adjustment to the truss rod. Not much, but some kind of adjustment. And that's what you use this for. And again, you can cheap out on this, but if you're playing the guitar and you want to keep your guitar set up, or if you have a number of guitars you want to keep them set up, you might as well spend the $5 for a nice gauge one of these. Something that's heavy, not flimsy. Oh. So there's one more piece that we'll be using when we put this guitar together. This is something that you could end up spending a lot of money on. And that is to dress these frets, okay? You start out by leveling them all, okay? Making sure they're all level. Now you've already done the fret rocker and you found where the high ones are and you've kind of corrected that, but then you want to make sure that they're all level. Now you could spend a lot of money on a fret leveling bar. They have some very nice ones out there. Nothing wrong with that. Or if you've got a nice straight edge laying around the house, a level, all you need to do to accomplish the same thing is take that, get some sticky backed tape sandpaper that is at least the width of your straight edge. Line it across here, and what it becomes then is a level sanding plane that you can work and in no time level out all the frets to the same height. Cheap. We should all have one of these around the house anyway. They come in handy, and if you can have it do double duty. I love tools that do double duty. So if you can have it do double duty and take care of what you need, go for it. It works fine. Now I do have some specialty tools. I did not spend an arm or leg on this. You can. There's a couple of extra pieces that I would like to get for this set just to complete it. But what I've got in here are some basic tools that you can use to work on your guitar. Okay. This is for the tuning machines to do quick loosening of the tuners. Okay. Also, something we all need. I mean, if you've got a set of wire cutters around the house, perfectly fine. But just a set of wire snippers that you use to cut your strings on your guitar and do some other things, but that's basically for cutting your strings. Okay. You can get a lot more intricate versions of this. This is a plastic card that came in it. What it is another type of ruler for strings. This is to see when the strings are on the neck, how far the string is above the frets. You just put that in there between the strings, you find out what it is, find out what the standard is from the company for this particular instrument, and you'll know then if you have to lower it or raise the action on your guitar. It has also some small rulers on there, but I basically would just use it to see what the action is. Okay. Comes with a number of different Allen wrenches. This will help you out. First off, these are better than the one that came with the kit for adjusting truss rods. This one comes with a number of different sizes, just 3 different sizes. Standard ones for the truss rods that are in the guitar neck. Screwdriver, again, like I said, you can't have too many screwdrivers. Okay. This is a specialty tool that I bought. If you look down, hopefully you can see it, there's a small curve running down the end of this. Everything else is flat and safe. Okay. This is for after you flatten the frets, leveling them, flatten them out. For the fret to work right, you want it to have a small rounded edge to it. So that's what this is. This is a crowning file. And it just sits on top and you run it across. And you take the flatness out, put a little edge on it, and bring it back to being a nice round fret that your hands can slide up and down on. Also have a number of different files here. These are diamond files. especially the best ones, but these are okay. And what you're going to be doing with these is dressing the ends of your frets with these. Also, there's some other ones in there that you can adjust the nut to get the right height here. Again, we're working with the action. So you have a couple of different ones there for that. Okay. We'll just talk about this real quick. This, you don't want to mar your headstock once you get it all finished and everything. And what you're going to have up here where the tuning machines are small nuts that you want to tighten down. This works much better than trying to get a wrench onto or anything like that. It just fits right in. You're not going to mar it. It's just a nice additional tool. You also saw these in the kit, and that's basically, you put it here, it surrounds the fret, right? And then you can work on that fret without damaging the wood of the fretboard. Last thing you want to do is create more work for yourself. So the set usually comes with one wide one and a couple of other different sizes. So when you get down here to the lower frets, there's not as much room to work with, so you have these smaller ones. And the only other thing in here, and I won't drag it out, is a nice steel straight edge for, again, measuring action, other things on here, just to get decent measurements. Now you can spend a little bit more money for things to help you out with that. And I will probably, somewhere down the line, get a set of calipers so that I can just get quicker, more accurate measurements. But you don't need to do that off the get-go. Okay. Aside from that, the only other thing you probably need is a good X-Acto knife. You can get a whole set of these on Amazon and just keep trading them out. You don't have to change the blades all the time if you've got a whole set of them. I'm a hobbyist, so I've got these things all over the place, but I try to keep it here in the box. Cloths, I have a few microfiber cloths around too. But that's basically it. Those are the things that you can use to help keep your guitar in good working order. And it's going to help with this project that we're about to start. Now I am going to use some specialty tools. Here along the way. And this might be one of the last times you'll see me taping from here in the house. But just because I'm going to be working in a wood shop where I have access to more power tools, power sanders, that kind of thing, doesn't mean you can't do this stuff by hand. Okay? And we'll see in the next videos the things that you can do by hand, the things that you have to do by hand, and the things where using a power tool just makes the work go faster. So till then, goodbye, thank you for watching, and we'll hope to see you again soon. Thank you.